Channel Lightworkers Together. This is Val. I hope you all are doing wonderful and having a great day. I'm hopping on to talk about a topic that I'd mentioned a couple of times, and I waited to see if I would receive guidance to talk about something else, which is what happened the other day, and I didn't, and I'm coming back to this topic again, so we're going to go ahead and talk about it. But first, I did want to say thank you to those who commented and shared, and I would like to touch on one of the comments from the previous video, which is why do relationships fail? And Lee had commented in reference to expectations, which I think was a wonderful, wonderful point to make. Thank you, Lee, for sharing that information and contributing to this conversation. Because everything that we share can be helpful and useful for one another, especially when we do it in that positive way like you did. So expectations, you are exactly right. If you are going into a relationship with a lot of expectations, if you place some pretty burdensome expectations on the person that you are entering a relationship with, whether it's a friendship, whatever it is, you're kind of setting things up to be disappointing, because mostly our expectations are based on unrealistic things. So that kind of comes back to placing something, and I'm not talking about having your minimums like respect and things like that. Those have to do with, these are your minimum requirements, and those are, we talked about that already, that's communication based. So that should be already communicated, so when you enter in a relationship, you know you're going to have respect, you're going to have honesty, you're going to have these other things, and if you don't, then that's not the relationship for you. You need to exit that exit that pretty quickly, and those things are usually apparent fairly on. But I think it kind of touches on what I talked about, of not even necessarily putting someone on a pedestal, but expecting it, kind of in that way, expecting a lot of them. If you're expecting someone to kind of be your everything, if you put that expectation on them, that they're just going to be the perfect partner in every way, you're setting both of you up for failure. And we know this. We all know this. I think anyone who's been in any relationship that hasn't worked out, that's usually a part of it, right? It's unrealistic expectations. And we have to look back at ourselves too a lot of times and say, what are we in relation to this story that we're looking for? Nobody is perfect. It's better to come into something with your eyes wide open, right? And being realistic and finding someone who is a match, but understanding we're all individuals, right? Everyone has their own idea of what's going to work for them and what isn't. So to be fair to one another, communication, of course, is the main thing. Communicate. What is it that you need? What are you looking to get out of the relationship? And if you don't have that communication from the beginning, then it's going to be, you can't kind of not say or not communicate something and then expect that you're going to get it. So I think that beautiful piece of information Lee put in there for us about expectations is a really, really good one. It's a really good one from not just a spiritual perspective, but just a plain, simple, common sense perspective for relationships. So thank you, Lee. Thank you for joining in on the conversation. I just love that, because this is meant to be for all of us, right? So today's topic, to get back to it, which I promised the other day, and I did want to be outside, and it's sunny and beautiful, you all. It's gorgeous, but it's so cold. I walked my dog twice, and even on the second walk, my dog was kind of like, it's time to get back inside. So I'm hiding out in my car again where it's warm. The sun's beating in through the window. So I'm hoping to get outside. Our weather today, happy spring, everybody. Today is the first day of spring. So excited about that. I think it's going to warm up for a few days coming. So it's going to be really, really nice. And I hope everybody else is enjoying a little bit of good weather at least. Depending on where you are in the world. Some folks are in their summer maybe where you're at. But anyway, I'm hoping good things for everybody today. But the topic today is super short and sweet. And that is the difference between self-love and self-serving love. And that gets confused a lot by people outside of the spiritual community and sometimes by people in the spiritual community. And basically, self-serving love is the kind where it's service to self, completely 100%. Nobody else is on the radar, and everything that you are doing is in service to yourself and for yourself. There's no bigger picture, there's no connectedness, there's no anything being for the higher good. That's how you can always tell, like, what is the end goal. And then there is self-love, which is not self-serving. It is about taking care of yourself, recognizing who you are. You are a divine being in a human body, having a human experience, and to love and take care of yourself as you do others. And when you get into that space of love and acceptance, that expands out to everyone else. And you find you have more love to give, more kindness, more compassion, more of that. And in general, the things that you are wanting, it's not all about you, right? It's not all about service to self. It's about service to others, but taking care of yourself on that path of service to others so that you can do it, right? Because when we run ourselves down, when we exhaust ourselves, when we put all of the focus on others or someone else, if it's just one person even in particular, you can exhaust yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, all of it. And that doesn't serve you or them or anyone. So that's just really the difference. It's just plain and simple and basic. You can look and say, okay, what am I doing? Am I taking care of myself? There's certain things that are important we need in this human world, right? And you want to work on your physical health. You want to work on your mental, your spiritual path. You want to work on your abundance in your life, because these are all things that, are part of the human experience, and we need them to function in this world. So if you look at all those things and you know that all those things are helping you on your path of service to others, right? That it's not just all about, I'm trying to think of a good example, guys. Like if someone's just like on their path and all they want to do is, say, make a ton of money, but they do not want to share any of it, or they don't want to use some of it to help others in some way, then that would be, you might want to be like, okay, that's some self-serving love going on there, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, you can look at the goal behind it, because sometimes the actions on the outside of it can look the same, right? So if you're spending a lot of time kind of working on yourself, whether it's physically, doing a lot of meditations and stuff, someone can be like, oh, well, that person's really, they're putting a lot into themselves, or they're spending a lot of time on themselves. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that, to get to a better place with ourselves and a better understanding of who we are. What is your end goal with it, right? And there's nothing wrong with wanting happiness and joy and all that stuff for yourself. We're meant to have that. That is supposed to be part of our human experience. But not wanting to have everything at the exclusion or at the cost of everyone else. And that is the difference. And we all know it. I mean, you all can see it. You can, what's that expression? The proof is in the pudding. That's what it is. The proof is in the pudding. So you can kind of see how things roll out with folks, and whether they're in a place of practicing self-love or self-serving love. So that's it. It's really short and sweet. It's an easy one. But it is a topic I wanted to talk about, because I know there have been some folks who come at some people who are saying, I'm practicing self-love, I'm doing this. They put up kind of boundaries, which sometimes are part of self-love. They're necessary so that you can protect your energy, and so that you can do what you need to do it's the expression of fill your own cup up first, right? It's that old analogy of when you're on an airplane and something happens and the oxygen masks drop from the top. You are meant to put that mask on your face first, okay? So that you can then help others. Because if you're unconscious, how are you helping anybody else, right? So self-love versus self serving love. Service to others versus service to self. And saying service to others doesn't mean that you are excluding yourself or that you are putting yourself last. Not by any means. You're putting yourself right up there at the top of the list. You take care of yourself, and then you can help take care of everyone else too, if that's what you want to do, whatever your path happens to be, or if that's what you need to do. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to stop now because I promised this would be short and sweet. So if anyone would like to add any comments in reference to this topic, or even about another topic that you would like to hear about, I'm going to be meditating and praying to see, what will come up next for us to go over and to talk about. But I appreciate your interaction. I really love hearing your thoughts on things. So thank you all so much for that. I hope everyone can get outside if it's not too cold where you're at. I'm a little bit of a baby about the cold. I can't lie. I'm at a place in my life where, I don't like the extreme cold, and I don't like the extreme hot either. I like something, like maybe 40 to 50 degrees to like 80. That's a good that's a good space with sunshine, of course. So I hope at least the sun is shining wherever you are, even if it's cold, and you can get out at some point and enjoy. Here in the United States where I'm at, it is the first day of spring. So thank you, God, for this beautiful sunshine. And I want to just say thank you to everyone. Please like if this is valuable to you. Share, subscribe, help grow the channel and help get these messages out. I hope they are of value to you. So I'm sending everyone love, peace, and unity. Stay well, stay safe, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.